What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support, guys. I am shell shocked and I'm tired. I'm sorry, but today's the second week of the Tyre Nichols federal trial out there, the civil rights trial in Memphis. Shout out Memphis. And today's update. They still had the same trainer of the Scorpion team on the stand all of the day. And he was getting cross-examined today. And as usual, the lawyers with these three Memphis police officers was throwing him through the motion. They cross-examined this guy so much, the judge had to jump up and say, look, how long you going to deal with this witness? They got 37 people. They got 37 witnesses. They got to take the stand. And this is only the third one. Now, I done said before, I didn't think this thing would be a long trial. I might stand corrected because it seems like these guys are objecting everything and they're trying to take their sweet time by upholding and trying to prove all these witnesses to be hoaxes. This guy trained the Scorpion team. And they want to sit up here and talk about a whole bunch of things and try to tear apart his training that he did with them. I want you guys to look at this video and see if you could pick certain things that I picked up about how silly they sound in their cross-examination for a guy that trained them, in which they didn't do the training, but the lawyers are sitting here trying to go against the training of the man by saying, oh, well, he trained them wrong. Don't matter. Cops are cops. They know how to deal with common folk, and these guys didn't. Here's the update.
Continuing now in the federal trial of three former Memphis police officers charged in the death of Tyre Nichols.
WREG's April Thompson has been in the courtroom for us, and she is live outside federal court with how police training is taking center stage today. April?
Stephanie, all about training here at federal court today. One witness all morning and into the afternoon. That witness, the same one from last week, Memphis Police Academy instructor, Lieutenant Lawrence Wright. One of Tadarius Bean's attorneys grilled Memphis Police Academy training instructor Lawrence Wright for more than 6 hours between Thursday, Friday, and this Monday. It was enough to cause Judge Mark Norris to ask how long attorneys plan to take in their cross-examinations. Defense attorneys said this is their only chance to question these witnesses, and a lot is at stake. But there are still two more defense attorneys who also get a chance to question Wright. Kevin Whitmore brought up how Wright previously said certain vehicles like Nissans, Kias, and Infinitis heighten an officer's attention. Wright's response: I can't tell you to violate someone's right just because they have a certain vehicle, sir. Whitmore says Tyre Nichols was in a Nissan, a type of car Wright said was targeted by criminals, and Nichols refused to stop for officers, so it was more than a routine traffic stop. Lieutenant Wright is now being questioned by Demetrius Haley's attorney. He also challenged Wright on his expertise on training. Wright finally admitting he doesn't call himself an expert, but was given that title by a city legal advisor back when he was asked to testify in another case, saying that city legal advisor Zaid Salid told him because he trains officers in areas like defensive driving, that makes him an expert. And now an update out back here live. Wright has now been questioned by all three defense attorneys. They are also bringing up resistance levels and what officers are taught and how the definition of active versus passive training is not written anywhere for these officers to see. Right now, he's being re-questioned by prosecutors. They have a chance to go back on redirect about how different type of training is touched on in different classes. That's just one witness, though, that's been on all day and part of last week. And as the judge mentioned this morning, there are 37 more witnesses to go. Reporting for your news leader in downtown Memphis, April Thompson, WREG News Channel 3.
Guys, that's the update. Now, this is just the beginning day of the second week. Now, the first week, doing a small recap, we seen that, you know, from me being in the courtroom and telling you guys what I seen, looked like Tadarius Bean and Justice Smith got their own situation going on where they're talking amongst themselves and their defensive teams are going together and moving forward with this, where it seems like Demetrius Haley distanced himself from them. I seen with my own eyes where he was away from them, and it seemed like it was almost a rift. You know what I mean? With the defense strategies. Now, also, we heard last week, Justin Smith is thinking about taking a stand and speaking in his own defense against legal counsel. This whole thing is out of control, but I will tell you this. Now, they're cross-examining this guy that trained the Scorpion unit, right? If you pay attention to it, they're trying to say it like he trained them wrong. The guy answered all of the questions and told them, hey, don't do this. You can do this, this, and this, but don't do that or you'll go to jail. They did exactly what he said that can get them in jail. They're where they're at. Now these lawyers are trying to pick apart his validity as an expert. Doesn't matter if the word expert is attached to it. He was the lead trainer in training them. So his expertise was good enough to train them, to have them go out in the field for their safety and the safety of others, to follow the guidelines in which they didn't follow. So what is the big deal? What's the big deal? This guy been on the stand for what, 3 days? 3.5 days? 2.5 days. Roughly 2.5 days. They got 37 people. So he's number 3. They got 34 more. I thought this thing was going to be open and shut when they showed the video. And remember, guys, they ain't showed the whole video yet. They only showed the first stop. And speaking of first stop, right? They said, if we go back into the archives of covering this story, Emmett Martin said Tyre Nichols was speeding. He was also swerving. And he pulled out and he refused to stop, going through stop lights and everything. Said, and I was saying to myself, I said, you know, well, what if he didn't have his lights on? If he had his lights on or had his lights off? Supposedly, here it is. He turned his lights on initially, got behind Tyre Nichols, cut the lights off because he seen they were going at dangerous speeds and didn't want to keep, pursuing the high speed chase, right? Okay, so you turned your lights off and still chased the man. And then when he got to the light, he stopped, but you were chasing him. It don't even sound right. If you paid attention and go back and look at the video, if you got the stomach for it, Tyre Nichols was at the stop light with his blinker on like a normal driver when they ran up on him. I don't believe that high speed chase stuff, him speeding and all. I don't believe none of that. And now that these dudes lied, they not only lied at the scene, they also lied with their paperwork. I don't believe nothing they say. Like I told you, these are rats running from a burning ship. They'll do anything and say anything to get off that boat and not be exposed to the flames of the heat. You're seeing it now. I was in the courtroom, I seen it. Not talking amongst themselves. See, when you got co-defendants and everybody got a different angle in which they want to get out and they see that the walls is closing on everybody, it's every man for himself. And you'll see it as this trial goes on. You'll start to see a lot of crazy stuff. I told you last year, when this comes out, it's going to be some bombs dropped in this case and we ain't even seen anything yet. Watch it be twists in this case that you didn't see coming. Curveballs. All in all, man, Tyre Nichols should still be here. This is the neglect and ignorance of these cops that beat this man like they was common thugs in the street like we talked about. And now all of a sudden, it's the trainer's fault? The guy that warned them not to do what they did anyway? Man, give me a break. This thing gonna be long and dragged out. You can already see it. From them doing the jury selection thing, trying to hold up the process with that, and now they trying to grill this guy, the trainer, into the ground and got multiple more witnesses where the judge got to tell them, all right, you need to speed this up. You know what I mean? We got a trial to run. Who knows when this thing will be over? But when it is, I'll be down there and I'll show you guys. I got odds and ears out there, and anything I know, I'll tell you guys. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. These dudes looking crazy as hell. Justice for Tyre. I'm out. See you in the next video. Take care. Oh yeah, and one more thing. Say this guy didn't train them right. Regardless of having training or not, that you don't have enough training to pull back when you beating somebody mercilessly and they had enough and everybody sees it, you don't have enough training to stop your fellow officers from killing a man or you being a part of a homicide. Don't have no training in that. Don't have no common sense neither. And this is just why they're sitting where they are. This whole thing is stupid, this cross-examination stuff. They need to take these dudes and send them right up the river where they belong.